Welcome to Festival Forum at the 2015 Newport Beach Film Festival. I am Blake V, and we are here at the Hospitality Suite, joined by cast and director of Divine Access. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Hello, very nice to have you guys here. We are, of course, joined by Barrick Hardley, Steve Prince, Billy Burke, and Patrick Warburton, and we really appreciate you guys stopping by. We're excited for the film. Yes. Perfect, knocked them all out, right? Okay, so Divine Access. We have a film here, something of a prophet turned celebrity. Sounds pretty hilarious, but I believe there's more. There's more to the story. You want to tell us a little bit about the premise of this film?
Yeah, I'm going to let Patrick Warburton
all
take
right,
that.
Hand it on over.
I was only there for about 2 weeks, and in that period of time, I ruptured a disc in my back.
Oh no!
And but still got through shooting. Very brave, very brave. But
sounds like
a lot of whining.
oh, thank you. Okay, I'm going to hand this to Jim Morrison for a second.
The guy who really should be speaking is the guy who handed it over in the first place. He's the guy that wrote the script. It's his voice. We were merely props. So go.
back again.
What was the question? No, it's Divine. It's a personal story. I wrote it with a couple of great friends, John O'Connell, Michael Zacks. Michael, who is also in the film. And it's it's about a reluctant prophet. There's a lot more to it than that. We've gotten some amazing responses, sort of where people are sort of getting the nuance of it. It's a comedy. Barrick's hilarious in it, as are Patrick and Billy. But it's it's sort of maybe a best way to put it, maybe a quest, a guy's personal quest for his own sort of place in the world. Nice broad, but it's sort of it's more than a prophet. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your personal inspiration for writing the story and what made you want to decide on this topic?
Yeah, it was born of my relationship with my mother, and when it was just her and me at the end after my father and she broke up, and so it's sort of about her quest for her own place, her own spirituality, and myself as a 13-year-old kid being sort of pulled around to all that. I took acid when I was 13, and then went to Buddhist chants, and then it turned into past life regression and all this sort of what a lot of people consider airy-fairy type stuff, but it really changed her life in a positive way, and so that was sort of where it was born, and then we turned it into a script where I created a conflict between Billy, who is sort of based in me to a certain extent.
Playing the Steve character.
Yeah, I'll let him talk about that. He did a couple of Steve-isms.
Please tell us about your character.
Yeah, Steve came to me with the script a few years ago, and I immediately just, speaking of the voice, and it was the voice that I really responded to in the first place, and it sort of reflected a lot of my viewpoints on the world and spirituality and things like that. So I was immediately in, and he and I were already good buds, so we just kind of went down the road on it, and I got to basically, there were times in the movie where I found myself playing Steve.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, why wouldn't I?
Because it's interesting.
Because what's more interesting than that?
There you go. And you had him on set, so it was,
And he said, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. There you go. You got quick feedback. That's always good.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. Now, the film is set in the South. Is that correct? Kind of a...
Not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
we shot it in Austin. Steve's from Austin. I happened to be in Austin on another project at the time, so it was just kind of everything kind of fell together at the right time, and it was kind of the perfect setting for that. But Austin doesn't really. It could be anywhere USA. It doesn't. Austin's not really a character in the film, but we just got lucky with that location.
That's great. And how about the process of filming? Was there anything particular in terms of the actual time frame or specific scenes, for the actual shoot schedule?
We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
It's a tight schedule, when you're shooting a low-budget film, but we spent a lot of time waiting for boats and waves and bad backs, which was a real shame, man. Your day was a little bit more contained, and there was a bass fishing tournament on our location the next day, and I'm like, cool, we got a day. It's not a big deal. And then all of a sudden, these boats started coming by, and I thought it was tomorrow. And they were practicing starting. They were. They just so we thought we had a day, and they just ripping ass by with these boats one after another.
Oh, no.
And they, all you can do is sit down and wait for it to pass. And,
Right.
And all the actors were great, and they just sort of hung. They just sort of hung in there. But yeah, and no more challenges than anybody else has on a low budget film. But the key, even though they're right here, the key is hiring actors that are good to go and ready to go. And the other thing that was great about this, which anyone who sees this film that also read the script, was just the incredible improvisation and paraphrasing and the way that these actors embodied the character and created their own voice that was far beyond what I had envisioned. By staying true to the story and staying true to the character, they created a character that was far more clever. Just really, really wonderful work, which allowed for us to, when we weren't waiting on boats and things like that, to really play and have some fun and have a lot of choices in editing from some really wonderful stuff. Barrett did some amazing, amazing stuff, as did everybody. Tell them about how amazing you are, Barrett.
I gotta say, this was a terrifying thing for me because I showed up and the movie was already being filmed, and so everybody kind of knew each other, and I get dropped with like Billy and Patrick and Gary Cole. Oh my God, Gary Cole! Like the three of these guys, and then me. I was way out of my element, just like hoping not to screw this whole process up, because like the cast is so amazing.
It's an incredible cast.
Yeah, and there was a lot of fun freedom to add on to the brilliant words that you wrote.
Yeah.
This thing's hot. This thing's terrifying to hold. I think you should have it.
He's right about the brilliant writing.
Yeah,
I would say
absolutely.
that right now. But I mean, the thing about also, this thing could have skewed dramatic, and Billy and I talked about that from day one. And then when Patrick became a possibility beyond my wildest dreams to come in and play, I think what you said, he's funny with his back turned, and so
Quite a compliment, I know.
So yeah, I mean, but it's the writing is subtle, I hope, but that you need someone to embody the character and bring out, the what's on the page, but also take it far beyond. And
Absolutely.
And I'll let Patrick tell you about how great he was on the film.
Yeah, please do.
I just really enjoyed this experience with all these fine actors. Barack, I love that you're in character right now. I think that's great. It was a lot of fun, but a little bit of drama. I did do something to my back, lifting something, and which it literally crumpled and crippled me. And I was on the floor just saying, and this has never happened to me before, you guys might have to recast, but I was good in a day because got a doctor who just slapped some steroid prednisone patches on my back.
There you go.
Got
That's
me
all you
going.
needed.
And it's been fun.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
But I was good. No surgery, nothing. Just a little bit of
Good.
physical rehab, and playing golf again. There you go.
Good.
But it was a really fun experience. I love this script. It was very clever and creative. It was a great cast, and it was one of those. Oftentimes, you look at something and you can talk yourself into anything, and sometimes you don't know until after the experience. And I just realized what good fortune it was that this one came along, because I had a great time, and bad back and all, it all worked out.
It was worth it?
Yeah.
It was worth the injury?
But I loved working with the cast. I had a lot of
That's
fun working
great.
with Billy and Barack too.
Yeah.
This guy's insane. I love him. And Gary Cole, yeah, that was fun. And
Sounds like a great cast.
Yeah, and speaking of these actors bringing your words to
what do you want me to do?
life.
Jump up and down, Steve? Jeez. Everybody was.
I can see I was great working with the cast. They got some inspiring.
The cast
No,
only.
craft services was amazing. And I had one of the most dynamic hair and makeup people I've ever had. She was
Always good.
amazing.
The glue. You had to isolate the glue.
Everybody from the assistant director down.
No, I'm sorry, I haven't seen you before. Were you in the film? Steve wrote and directed a fine piece. It was. Steve is amazing.
It's gonna get morose pretty soon.
Steve has that when he's at the helm. You don't question.
Go in there.
You don't question anything other than the direction of the writing, and you just decide to find your mark, make your mark wherever that may be, and say whatever you want. That's what we did. No. we took that script, that brilliant script, and we threw it out the window, and we wrote our own, like he said, our own dialogue. No, to be perfectly honest, I don't remember really improvising almost anything. I thought I pretty much stuck with the script. For the most part, I did at least.
You did, but you added some great stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really good stuff.
All right, good.
And speaking of all these great actors, bringing your words to life, tell us a little bit about the casting project and how you got everybody involved that you did.
Well, Billy was first as a buddy and really sort of created the momentum because I wrote this thing with my partners about 15 years ago and put it aside, couldn't get it done for a lot of reasons. And then and then at some point I just decided, I gave it to Billy 5 or 6 years ago, and at that point didn't know what he was going to play. He just said, I'm in. And then as I thought about it, I go, this is something I want to direct. I want to have some control over it. And then offered Billy the part as the lead, and that got it started. And then Michelle Lewitt, a great casting agent out of LA, started giving us great names. I sort of wanted my hit list was sort of created from just all of my partners at Traveling Picture Show Company and G-Men Media. We just got together and started putting a wish list together. And then they responded to the material. And then Bess Epco in Austin, the local actors, the local background actors, all the local crew, all the guys that I grew up with after I left, they're all still there making great movies. So the local acting was wonderful, man. And
We got really lucky with the cast.
That's great.
Yeah, and then if you look at every scene, the background is engaged and paying attention. So the background artists every one of them was as important as anyone that was saying lines, and that's the truth. And then Barrett was just one of those things. We had this really funny part, and I hadn't seen any of Barrett's work until after they showed me his photo. I go, I know that dude. And Michelle Lewitt is like, this is the guy. And so it was like, all right, we're going to upgrade. I thought we'd go local with that, and then we got to hit a home run with Barrett, brought him in, and he killed it.
Perfect.
So it was just really fortunate. And we have a mutual friend, Amy, that brought your name up, and so just the whole cast, man, just surpassed what my wildest dreams could have been, to be honest with you.
I know, it's fantastic. Sounds like everything came together perfectly.
It came together, and then they all played great together. And Joel Moore's not here, and Sarah Shahi's not here, and Dora Madison, and Adrienne Barbeau plays my mother, basically, especially if you ask my mother. Everyone came together, and everybody was so prepared, and everyone had their own ideas. And you guys could speak to it better than I. Didn't really have much to do other than sort of encourage and keep us on target. And everyone had unique ideas that took it beyond what was on the page, which was wonderful.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
Yeah.
That's great. And with this sort of indie film, tell us your take on producing and kind of putting forth a smaller project versus any sort of bigger projects that you may have been involved in before.
Well, I think the benefit of a smaller project is that you have a little bit more freedom to tell a story that may not resonate to a wide audience. Now, I think this film will resonate with a wide audience. And certainly, I believe that people are going to care about this movie. But the smaller films are ones you can use, in my estimation, you write about something you care about, you write about what you know, and you put it out there with all the barbs, with everything, and you just let the world see it. And, because the goal is still to pay back your investors. That's exactly what it's about. But in so doing, you get the widest possible exposure of the film. So it sort of serves to the same end. But I love the smaller films because it just allows you to tell a story exactly the way you want to, to a certain extent, but for the most part. This is what we call it, faith adjacent. And it's there's a lot of spiritual elements to it, but at the same time, it's an R-rated film, man. It's a grown-up film. I've shown it to people from a handful of different religions. I've shown it to people in Sarasota that were skewed a little bit older. We've shown it in Houston and in Dallas. And everybody has found, not certainly, but most of the people have found a reason, something about it that resonated with them. And that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a story that I'm happy with. And so it's nice that it's affecting people in some sort of way.
Absolutely. And kind of in your opinion, and really everyone's opinion, in terms of getting the widest reach for a smaller film like this, what are your feelings on film festivals and social media and just various methods of outreach, just to kind of bring awareness to your film?
What do you got? We're doing all of that.
Yeah.
We got some lovely, anything that comes in, we've gotten very nice reviews from some very nice critics and some magazines around it. We just put it out there. Because right now we're trying to create a story around this film so that people will go see it. And so the
Definitely.
festivals and the social media and all that will drive an audience and create an awareness that will allow us to take it out beyond, hopefully beyond a festival run. I know you guys have a lot of followers.
Followers?
Followers.
Who are those people?
Like fans and stuff?
Don't you guys tweet and stuff, right?
I have about 2,200 Twitter followers who might attest to that. I've got about 75 MySpace friends who might agree with you.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what's going on right now. I predict big things for this guy, though, right here. Barrick.
me?
Yeah, dude. You are an uncut diamond. And if someone decides to cut you,
How dare
that
they?
would be bad. I don't ever want to see you as a cut diamond. I like you in your uncut shape. No. He's a very, very talented, very unique, funny, talented man. That's all I'm saying right now. That's my prediction, right?
Fantastic.
This just turned a corner, didn't it?
I have a question for you, Billy. Did you have a chance to bring any of your music to the film or to the set?
I did not. However, I was in on a lot of the processes of this film that I'd never been involved in before, and
Excellent.
music is one of them. But I was in the editing room a lot, and I was involved in a lot of the when we sat around and listened to tons and tons of music.
You saved the film. You saved yourself. You saved the film and you saved it.
That's right. Well,
That's a quote. I saved it.
Saved it.
I not only said it once, I said it a few times.
That's 'cause I
Must have really meant it.
He's like, thank you. Bang, saved it.
But yeah, this is my first time being involved in a movie on that level. I mean, I produced a short before a long time ago, but that was absolutely worthless. So this is this I had obviously a lot invested in. So the original question was music, but I turned it on you. See what happened there?
That's right. That's good.
What else we got?
Perfect. Well, I think actually now is a great time to take a look at some of the clips from the film.
Hello, I'm Guy Roy Davis.
Yes, you are. Saw your show last night.
That was God's TV show, sir. Okay.
No, not yet.
Get a room, you two. Because of the hug.
She's a business major at a junior college.
I could tell she had brains.
You think I'll go to hell for this?
No. Maybe purgatory.
Yeah, what's the difference?
In purgatory, the flames are just as hot, but you don't end up going there forever like you do in hell. So you'll spend a little time there.
Yeah, I can live with that. What do you see there?
A glass?
Wrong. It's a mug. See, we're both looking at the same thing. From your vantage point, it was a glass. From mine, it's a mug. The object is constant, perspective is different. Now, the only difference between religion and that mug is I'm not willing to kill you to prove it's a mug.
Jack, that's actually quite good. You gonna use that tonight?
I don't do props.
All right, here's where you get out, Reverend Davis.
One day I will be looking down from among the heavenly host to see both you and Jack Harriman burning in the flames of eternal damnation, and I will throw another log on the fire with pleasure.
That is just terrible. And not very Christian. And I'm gonna pray for you. Get the hell out of my car.
That looks like the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
I might have been in that.
Well, big thanks to the cast and the director of the movie Divine Access. Here is a little bit of what you've missed at the Newport Beach Film Festival today.
Hey guys, I'm Abby Fernandez. We're here with Newport Beach TV, and today's the second day of the 2015 Newport Beach Film Festival. It's going to be a fun night.
My name is Angela Kinsey. I'm in a movie called All Stars, and it's a movie about little girls softball, where the little girls are amazing and the parents are horrible.
That sounds like a great plot.
Yes.
So Kinsey, are you related?
I am not related, but we got so excited because our last names are the exact same. They're spelled the same. We think maybe, we were trying to figure it out. I was like, wait, do you have any family in North Carolina? So far, we haven't found a connection, but we were super excited. But everyone thinks we're related. I just kind of love it because I don't have any family out in LA, so I've adopted Lance.
You have to. You
Yeah.
have to. So tell me more about the movie. How was it like working with all the castmates?
The cast was great. The script was written very funny, and then we were allowed to improvise quite a bit. I don't know how they edited this movie. The little girls are not actors. They're real little girls. Lance wouldn't call action because he didn't want to, get them in their heads. And so there were so many times where we were like, are we on camera? Are we rolling? What's happening? But we had a lot of fun, and it's a very sweet movie.
So tell me, what do you think about the Newport Beach Film Festival so far?
I'm so excited by it. You guys, I was filming this morning, and I kind of did my makeup in the car. I wasn't driving. Barely pulled it together. But it's been lovely. I love Newport Beach. I love it, like the South Bay. The people are wonderful, and I'm so happy to support the community.
Awesome. Well, congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have a fantastic rest of your night.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thank you for watching Festival Forum. I've been your host, Blake V. Definitely stay tuned for the upcoming days of the festival, where we'll be bringing you highlights of marquee films and all of the behind-the-scenes access. We want to thank our sponsor, Visit Newport Beach, and this has been Festival Forum.